What is the one thing you would tell a young professional female?
The one thing, I guess, would be to have a very full life. That to experience as many cultures as you can, to learn how to speak another language, to read books, to step in many oceans, I guess. Because the fuller life you have, the more you bring to the table with whatever job you do. Um, and you have to do the work. That you can't just wait for everything to be given to you. That you're in a profession, and if you're talking about the entertainment industry, you have to have the goods. You can't just rely on only instinct, but you have to be prepared with the business side of it and everything else. And in any other career, I think, it's to know yourself. It's to get to really know yourself and to know what your gifts are. And to emphasize those as opposed to bemoaning what you don't have or what you can't do, but to know that the things you can do are valuable, and that you don't always have to know things from the outside in. There are certain things that we love to do that seem that they come in too easy for us, so we don't give them credence, we don't give them value. But sometimes the thing that comes easy to you comes to you easy because it's a natural thing inside of you. So if you have that, why not lean towards that? Why not do that? Why does life have to be a struggle? You'll have plenty of struggle, just making things work sometimes in the world. I was too tall. My bust was too big. I was too weird for everyone. So the expectations were to be like everybody else, and I felt so uncomfortable in that position. I always felt like I was wearing a mask, that I was maintaining a posture. It just wasn't who I was, and I struggled with that because part of me wanted to be like everyone else. It just seemed that it was supposed to be easier, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I was just.
And when did you start trying?
I would say like 1980.
Okay.
Really, I just had this. I had
the
this
80s
moment.
will do that to you.
Yeah, they will. I had this moment where I just said, okay, I'm going into this interview and I'm going to put on my casting director mask and be Abel the casting director. I went, wait a minute, you are Abel the casting director. What are you doing? And it was after that that I just went, this is stupid. So I went in to meet Alan Parker for Shoot the Moon. And I had been sitting outside, and I was the only person who didn't have a lot of film experience of the casting directors who were waiting outside. And right before I went in, I read that a man who I had known, a much older man who had been kind of a mentor from the Center Theater Group, had passed away, and I hadn't heard that. And so at that moment, I get called in, and I said, could you just give me 1 second, Alan, because I just found out a friend of mine died, and I just went, okay, now what are we going to talk about? And he and I just talked about everything except the job. And when I left, he said, well, I suppose I should be asking you something pertinent. I said, well, I'm 5'9", I don't smoke, and I love old movies. He said, all right. I left, and I got the job. So I got to work at Zoetrope Studios. I got to work with Alan Parker. I got to, work on a film that, I got to meet Albert Finney and Diane Keaton and all those people. And it was like my first really big moment. So, and that was by being myself, not by trying to be who I thought they wanted me to be. There's a wonderful expression that says, it's none of my business it's none of my business what people think of me. And it's also none of my business what I think they think of me. You don't know. Most people are not thinking about you at all. They're thinking about themselves. So that was an important thing to keep in mind all the time.